AITAH for refusing to take my boss's dog home every night even though it's just a temporary arrangement. So I 29F, work as an admin assistant at a small company, and my boss, who we will call Greg 40M, is the type of guy who thinks running things like a family means he can do whatever he wants. A few months ago, Greg adopted a golden retriever named Buddy. Buddy is great, Greg is not. Instead of, adjusting his own life to accommodate his dog, he just started bringing Buddy to the office every day, which would be fine except Greg does not actually watch him. Buddy is now a full-time employee. He roams around, eats people's lunches, barks during client calls, and once peed on the office printer. Greg's response: "Haha, classic Buddy." Anyway, last week, Greg sent out a company-wide email saying he was looking for a volunteer to take Buddy home at night. Why, you ask? Because, get this, Greg's apartment does not allow pets. Apparently, for the past 2 weeks, my coworker Jessica had been taking Buddy home. Jessica is now moving out of state. Instead of, figuring out a normal solution, Greg just assumed someone else would take over. I ignored the email, assuming someone higher up would shut this down. Nope. Instead, Greg calls me into his office and hits me with, "So when do you want to start taking Buddy home?" Not would I like to, not is this something I'd be willing to do, just when. I laughed because I thought he was joking. He was not. When I said no, Greg sighed dramatically and went, "You have a house, right?" "Yes, Greg, I have a house. A house with 2 cats who would rather commit arson than share their space with a golden retriever." I told him that, and this man actually rolled his eyes and said, "Can't you just keep them separate?" At this point I was done. I told him, "Greg, I'm not taking home your dog." He looked at me like I had personally murdered Buddy in front of him. He said he was really disappointed in my lack of teamwork, and then started making vague comments about my attitude and how it might affect my future here. And guess what? Some of my coworkers are actually on his side. One of them, who I assume wants to be promoted to assistant to the regional dog sitter, said, "It wouldn't be that hard," and Jessica never complained. Meanwhile, Greg has started bringing Buddy over to my desk multiple times a day and saying things like, "He really likes you. You sure you won't reconsider?" Buddy is now actively staring at me while I type this. My fiancé thinks this is the dumbest thing he has ever heard and told me to start looking for a new job. But now my coworkers are acting like I kicked Buddy into oncoming traffic, and Greg is giving me disappointed dad vibes every time I walk into the break room. So Reddit, AITAH, or has my workplace completely lost its mind?